Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another high Elo Casting episode. Today, venturing onto the EU West server for some Challenger gameplay. Looking at the team comps here, we have a unique pick in Pyke Vigar bot lane for this red side, as we might see some level 1 shenanigans here as Jarvan raring up to go in on the Galio. Kiana and Galio against the 5 members minus Vigar. Kiana will fall immediately to the Pyke, already starting off fantastically with a little bit of an extra gold input there. Just going to lower the volume of ping so that they're not blasting my ears off. And already a fantastic start for this red side. Pyke picking up the kill, looking to potentially pick up either a set of boots or even a cloth armor to start off. Not going to opt to either of those. Instead, hoping to save that gold to sort of lead into those long swords that he's going to be picking up. Expecting to go the Umbral Glaive earlier on, just to help with clearing vision. Pyke very fantastic at clearing out enemy vision, especially once he has those items come through. His W letting him basically run around the map. As we see junglers here both starting on this blue side. As Kiana, unaware that Jarvan is even on her blue buff, starting the wolves. Jarvan will take full advantage of this now. Does he take the greedy option? Does he also go for the Grump? Does he think that Kiana is starting on bot side? He does. Kiana will meet Jarvan here as they are both meeting on level 2. Here we go. Here comes the engagement. Kiana has the advantage as he has the electrocute proccing. Will be able to take down the Jarvan. Stealing away that blue buff back to her, but the gold is in the hands of Jarvan. Down a camp is Kiana, but up a kill. As Ambessa lands the level 2, Rumble still has to clear a couple of minions before he'll be able to get that power spike. Galio looking to try and land a taunt onto the Annie to be able to just get as much poke damage as possible. Annie with that stun ready to go. Will now lose it. As Rumble now with the flamethrower, able to just ever so slightly tickle the wave as a freeze opportunity being able to be set up here very early on. As he will just opt to try and keep Ambessa at bay and keep the wave on his side of the map. Jarvan now opting to clear into his red side Krugs, going from top to bottom, pathing into this bot side, where Jhin and Nami have been able to get a little bit of a push advantage. Obviously, Vigar not too strong in the early game, but will have some potency later on. He is just looking to scale up with those Phenomenal Weevil stacks and potentially unleash that with the Primordial Burst. As Rumble and Ambessa might be in a little engagement. Bone plating is procced as Galio does manage to catch Annie out, but some return damage coming through onto that Galio with the stun primed and ready to go. But Rumble now constant just trading and trading with this Ambessa. With the Grasp of the Undying, she is just looking to get as many stacks as possible as level 4 will pop. As Pyke, potentially in a spot of bother, will not get hit by the Jhin W. No route for him. Will not be able to land the 4-shot either. As we look, Kiana is now taking that Scuttle Crabber in bot side. Jarvan yet to get to his blue or Grump. Slightly behind, but with a death in tow. He has taken that blue buff, but Kiana will take the back. Ambessa now going very aggressive against the Rumble. Both flashes will be exchanged. Rumble will be able to claim that kill onto the Ambessa. And already this top side might be looking a little bit dire. Kiana and Rumble were able to pick up kills for relatively nothing. It looks to be all on the mid and bot combination of this Annie, Vigar and Pyke, who is going to be relied upon into the late game. Now the question is for this blue side, what kind of resistances do you go? Do you forego the resistances all in total? But Pyke now going to be caught out by the Jhin W, by the Nami bubble, but the stun will come through. Nami will be hit. Heal comes through as well from Nami to try and stay alive, flashing away as Jhin in the 1v2 against Jarvan and Vigar, looking to try and get a kill, but the flashes will come through for Jhin as he will back away. Barrier popped as well as Ambessa caught out again. Kiana is here to join Rumble in the fight as the burning will be enough. Kiana claims that third and final kill for the Feats of Warfare. And all of a sudden, it's now swung massively in favor of this red side. What started off as an early pick onto the Kiana has ended up being quite disastrous. But Nami looks like she might go down. Will die to the Jarvan as Pyke falls low. Not able to claim the kill, though. Jhin under his turret. They do not look for the redive. After all, they are all relatively low except for Jarvan. But Vigar with no mana, there is not really too much he can do to assist. So it will just be a reset for now. Vygar TP's back into lane. Galio with that level 6 now will take the engagement onto the Annie. Will be under the turret in time for the stun. Tanks a turret shot, but not much more. As Annie now desperate to get this level 6. We'll get it on that last minion of the wave, as Pyke is here to join in. We see Nami is also in that mid lane brush. Annie with no stun at the moment. There is no stun primed and ready for Tibbers to come out to play. And already 5 minutes in, closing in on 6. Had a decent amount of action. The stun is primed now, opting to just try and clear the wave, as that Justice Punch will lead to Galio taking 2 turret shots. Now basically even in terms of HP with Annie, and TP down. Annie will have the advantage here. As Galio will try and shove in this wave. And Bessa now looking to take a fight onto the Rumble, just trying to maximize those Grasp of the Undying procs, as Pyke will not be able to catch the hook out, has to dash away. Kiana is there, primed and ready, but speaking of, Ambessa dropping very low against the Rumble. Will the equalizer come out? The torches burn, and Ambessa will fall. The Yordle in the mech is able to take down the Noxian Ambestress. As Rumble having a very good lane so far. 3 kills involved, 2 of them being solo kills. This Ambessa is not going to be able to catch a break. As we turn to the scoreboard, he is 2-0-1. Diana 2-1-0. The only death she had was that opening kill that went over to the Pyke. And already it's almost a 1k gold lead. We're not even 7 minutes in. Really gonna have to try and pull something back here as this Redsiders. They can't go into this late game behind. They need to be able to have Vygar be sort of anchor to hold this team up. Annie with the reliable stun might be able to assist in getting some early kills and gold over to that Vygar, but for the time being, natural lane assignments for Vygar will flash forward. Event Horizon will not be able to connect, but Jhin is now the target. Will be hit by the stun of the Pyke as the hook lands onto Nami. Vygar now looking to claim his first kill. Will land it onto the Jhin as Nami falls low and will be able to claim a double kill in bot lane. Very well executed from Pyke and Jarvan to be able to lock up that bot lane. The Event Horizon locking down the Jhin. Might not be stunned, but he has nowhere else to go. And Vygar picks up the double kill. As that is huge. That's exactly who you want the kills to be on, as Annie here will be engaged upon by Galio. Not able to connect the stun onto the statue. And we have a little moment to breathe here. Looking at items, we see Vygar with the Shurelya's Battle Song. A very interesting purchase there, but this Pyke is where the gold is going to be coming from, as Ambessa is engaged upon by the Rumble. Overheat comes through, maybe at the perfect timing, but maybe a little bit unfortunate as he's not able to follow up with any damage. But Pyke and Jarvan here in mid lane looking to try and hunt down these grubs. Kiana and Nami following suit as there's a little bit of movement. Tibbers will come through and Kiana is stunned up, locked all the way from here till Kingdom Come. Supreme Display of Talent does come through and the hero entrance does catch out the Pyke. The assistance of the Nami as well, allowing that Pyke to fall. Now, bear in mind, this entire time Vygar has stayed in bot, so Jhin is going to start falling behind if he is not careful. As Ambessa just taking so much damage from this Rumble. No equalizer available, was used in a previous engagement, but these charge darts doing wonders in this top side. As Tibbers takes a little bit of a break. His work is done. He got the kill onto the Kiana, but he will go into the break room for now. In the meantime, Annie just trying to stay alive in this lane. Will get hit by the taunt, will get hit by the Justice Punch, having to flash away from the Nami bubble to not get caught up. Very low dropping, as the grubs will be taken. 3 for the red side, as Jarvan takes advantage of the Kiana's falling. As Ambessa TP's back into top lane, we can already see Vygar potentially with a little bit more of a gold advantage at the moment, as he stayed in lane. That Mountain Drake is up and available. Event Horizon will be able to catch Jhin in the pen, but only a Q going to be able to land after catching him out. Pyke now posturing to engage onto the Jhin, as Ambessa and Rumble look to trade some blows as well. Bone placing will be procced, as Jhin had to flash away from the Pyke. Jarvan now coming into the top lane. Ambessa will be going in with a public execution as Rumble drops very low, but so does Ambessa. Having to flash away, will be hit by the Cataclysm, and Ambessa will pick up the kill. Very nicely executed. Jarvan coming in to support his top laner. As now, oh, Veigar going to be hit by the bubble. As Pyke will be caught out by the taunt. Going, here it comes, the curtain call, the supreme display of talent will also catch them both out as it's a double kill. One to Nami, one to Qiyana, as that bot lane dive was rather fluid, so to speak, as the tsunami comes in to catch them both. Drake will now be on the cards for this blue side. Qiyana makes a start on it. But Annie now going to be caught out by the Rumble. Tibbers will come out, lands the stun onto the Yordle. Annie now running away, but will fall very quickly to the flamethrower. Tibbers not able to seek revenge. As Event Horizon catches Jhin, the stun does land as the Q lands on top. Now the fight starts here as Jhin drops very low. Hero's entrance primed and ready for the Galio. Will knock up Jarvan. Jarvan will fall to the Qiyana. X mark the spot, will not be able to claim the kill onto the Nami as Pyke falls as well, as Veigar just looking to try and not get involved, not get caught out by this Galio, and Qiyana could have possibly tried to ult one of the members but didn't want to risk falling. He does need as much help as he can get. Currently up 2 kills on the Jhin and almost just over 10 CS now. As this top lane has been very one-sided up till this point, but Rumble does drop below half. And Bessa has to be very careful because that damage can stack up. Liandry's has been picked up for the Rumble now. 3-1-1, but Galio looking to just take away this bot wave, looking to take away any opportunity this Veigar might have to be able to get those plates. He knows that stopping Veigar from getting any gold is the most important part of this game so far. And he just needs to let his top laner thrive. As there is a 3-man on top. Public Execution does come down. Jarvan in the mix as Rumble will fall in the Cataclysm. Supreme Display of Talent does knock Jarvan back into his own ultimate, which does hit the stun as Jhin falls in mid to the Annie. The Tibbers there being the best supporters. Galio now 2 levels up on this Veigar. Veigar going to be trying to do as much as he can. Use the Aurelius to try and back away. Galio, does he have the taunt? Does he have the Justice Punch? Not available. This Veigar will be able to escape as now we're seeing a little bit of a swing here. The gold not able to stay in the favor of either of these teams. As it seems that resets will be coming through. Every player now with 1 item in the pockets. We have Liandry's on Rumble, Yumu's for Qiyana, Hollow Radiance for the Galio, Collector, Imperial Mandate on that bot lane for the blue side, whereas Mbessa opting for the Eclipse, just getting those shields for the longer engagements. Sundered Sky for Jarvan. Malignance in the hands of Annie, looking to maximize that Tibbers value. Aurelius still in the pockets of this Veigar, looking to build into the Archangel Star potentially with that needlessly large rod and the Tear of the Goddess, as Pyke, as said before, picks up the Umbral Glaive. Veigar now potentially the target of the catch out as the curtains will call. And for Veigar, the show is over. Take a bow, Jhin, as he catches out the mage there. But Jarvan and Mbessa looking to potentially catch out this Rumble one more time. Opting to just take out the control ward, but the Equalizer comes through, stopping the Mbessa from being able to reliably clear that wave and stops the Mbessa's push. As we see, 2 stacked on bot side, the bubble lands. That is absolutely huge, but Qiyana will be stunned up once by the Pyke, once by the Annie. Tibber is tibbing right now, but Galio catches out both of them with the taunt. Is he going to be able to get the damage? He's still quite tanky with that Hollow Radiance. Not going to opt to dive underneath the turret. Pyke half HP, Veigar is full. Annie is also around half. Possible fight now in mid lane as Veigar and Jhin square off, but Rumble is very much looking to try and claim this kill onto the Mbessa. No Equalizer available, but the Public Execution is up for Mbessa, so in a longer engagement you'd expect the ult to come out as Jarvan will catch out the Nami. Hero's entrance will come through as he just catches Jarvan on the edge of it. Not able to follow up with the taunt as Jarvan flashes away. Rifthold spawning in 20 seconds at the 15-minute mark, and for me, it's blue sides to take as Rumble has maintained a consistent lead in this top lane, and with the TP available, he can just come back in as Nami looks to be the target of the Pyke, who will use the ultimate. Not going to be able to claim the kill as the heal was used. Picks up the kill on to the Nami as Qiyana looks to get revenge for her support's death as Jhin just misses the W, dodged aside, but will the Q be able to connect onto the Pyke? No, will not be able to. as just surviving. But Galio now looking to take down the Annie. Drops very low, but not enough damage to be able to confirm it. As Vigar looking to just tease this Jhin. No TP available means that Jhin will need to take longer to be able to get back out onto the map, as Tibbers is here to play Bear versus Stone. As it seems like the Herald is being started. It will be claimed by the Qiyana as the Supreme Display of Talent does stun up the Jarvan. And Bessa falls to the Rumble. And Jarvan is soon to follow from the Qiyana. Curtain Call coming in clutches. Nice poke damage there coming through. That Mountain Drake really showing that resistances do matter, as Jhin now in a close bout with this Vigar, able to get healed up by the Nami, as the amounts that Nami's healing for is still quite incredible. As Tibbers tries to lay a dent into the Galio, but his magic shield as part of his W passive will stop that from being any worse than it needs to be. Chemtech Drake is now up. This Drake is massive for this blue side. That Nami's heal and shield power will be incredible for it. As Pyke not going to get caught up by the bubble, but Qiyana choosing to go forward. Will she be able to land the kill onto the Pyke? Yes, she will, as 2 turrets fall. Jhin takes down the tier 1 in bot, as Rumble claims a top tier 1 as well. Jarvan going to be hit now by the bubble, as Annie in the small little mini trade with this Galio here. The Justice Punch will come through the Winter's War. Not able to claim the kill onto the Annie, as now they're moving as 4. Backs will come through, but Galio has the TP available. Rumble not able to get involved in this fight. Will be opting to go straight back in top lane to stop this Ambessa from being able to claim that objective bounty on that top tier 1. As you can imagine, immediately as they go out to focus on this Drake, this 4 members of the blue side, we see Ambessa still residing in top lane. Been able to close that level gap with the Rumble, but not going to be able to go underneath the turret, as the Leandries will prove too damning to be able to stop. Is looking at items now. Rumble with that Seeker's Arm Guard building into the Zhonya's Hourglass, as Qiyana does claim that second Drake of the game, the Chemtech Drake, and we will see the Soul. Let's see. It is an Ocean Soul really assisting out in that regen department, and with the combination of this Chemtech Drake, it might be too much to handle. But again, looking at items, Qiyana now up 3 items. Edge of Night, Yumu's Ghostblade, an opportunity, as she is 8, 2, and 4, opting to wait for the boots, as Pyke lands a skewer onto the Rumble, but not able to lead into anything, as Vigar holds the Yordle in the cage. Not quite able to claim the turret as he goes under now. He pops the Shurelya's early to be able to escape quickly. But will take a decent chunk of damage, this Rumble. But Ambessa going to be caught out here by the Qiyana. Curtain Call will come through as the public execution look to try and get Ambessa away. But Jhin not able to land that 4 shot as Ambessa flashes away. Supreme Display of Talent not being used, as Pyke in a troublesome spot there. Galio takes a little bit of a second to recognize him, but will just dash over the wall to escape. As it looks like a fight might be arriving here, as Jarvan is on the flank. Rumble is missing from this, but Jarvan will be in the backline. Flash already used by the Nami, as Cataclysm will catch out the fish, but the hero's entrance comes through. Jarvan falls as Rumble's involved now. Equalizer not available. Zhonya's will be popped with that Seeker's Arm Guard. Supreme Display of Talent catches on the turret. Fall, but Jhin claims the kill on the Pyke and on Ambessa. That's 2 for him. Qiyana claims the 3rd, as Vigar gets a consolation kill, a triple kill in fact, and picks up the kill onto Qiyana. Now, Galio is still quite low. There is a potential for a pick here if Galio is not careful, but Vigar dropping deathly low. A single tickle from Jhin and he's dead with that Collector, and now we see that, you know, second items are coming online. Vigar going to be able to afford that Rabadons at this point, as the only real players able to pick up items consistently is this Qiyana. You can expect to see items come through. Riftmaker for Galio, Rapid Fire for the Jhin. And we'll be expecting to see some more items coming through for the side of the red team. As there's the Rabadons, now picking up the Blighting Jewel, possibly leading into Crypt Bloom, possibly leading into Void Staff. But the extra added resistances coming through with you know, two pairs of Merc Treads on this blue side. One from the Qiyana, one from the Galio. Especially with that enhancement as well after the feats have been claimed. As at this moment, strength lies with this blue side, but Jhin is going to be caught out here. Going to be caught by the flag and drag as the X comes down and kills the Jhin. Qiyana now looking to claim a return kill. Pyke will fall. Equalizer separates the two teams. Does some decent damage onto this Vigar as Jarvan going in. Lands the Cataclysm onto the Namias. Trying to get a kill is Annie, but Rumble's got other ideas as the burn will claim his first victim and the second is Jarvan, both to fall. And Bessa meanwhile is in that bot lane, being able to split push at this moment. But it seems like Atakan is the play. No other objectives available. And as this Atakan will fall, Galio does TP into bot, covering that split push angle from the Ambessa. As he looks to potentially claim something more as the taunt lands, and just holding Ambessa here at the moment. Galio looking to try and maybe potentially catch her out after a longer period of time. But so far this game started off a little bit dire with Qiyana falling early, but since then she has run away with this game. A mistake from Jarvan early on leads to an extra kill going over, and Qiyana now level 14. In respect to Jarvan's 11. The Drake is the next objective. It will be spawning within 60 seconds now. In terms of who has the advantage, it's clear that this blue side are not going to be able to let up anything at the moment. Now, they do have two TPs. One available for Annie and Ambessa, does the red side have, so they could look to potentially split push. Rumble's TP is available, but Galio only has the ultimate as Annie the target for the Qiyana, and it's in a matter of seconds that she falls. Tidal Wave will catch out the Jarvan as he looks to try and land the flag and drag. Not going to be able to get too much done as he does fall very low, having to flash over the wall, catch it out by the Jhin fourth shot. Here comes the curtain call and the equalizer in combination. Pyke will fall very low. The fourth shot does not land as Qiyana picks up the kill on the Pyke. It now roots up the Vigar as the burn and the bubble in tandem are able to claim the kill, as Jhin going to be caught out here by the Jarvan, by the Ambessa, as they will fall. Jarvan now the consolation kill for that Jhin, and Ambessa forms soon after as the ace comes through, and this might be a surefire win. But who is to say? The game is not over yet. And the Drake will go into the hands of this blue side. This is now sole points. Bearing in mind, 5-2 is the way of turrets. Yes, they have those 3 grubs, but if they're not able to utilize them, they are essentially just extra gold. And now we see potential third, or in Qiyana's case, 4th items being available. But Pyke now in the engagement with the Galio. Winds of War going to be chunking Pyke down quite significantly, as he will just fall. Pyke opting to take the trade into the Galio. He is 6 levels down at this point. And by no means is it looking pretty, or dare I say, it's not even looking ugly. It's looking disastrous. As Rumble now opting into the 3rd item, has the Zhonya's Hourglass completed. Qiyana now 4 items. Sorelda's Grudge, the newest addition to her inventory, as Galio will be picking up the Zhonya's. Ambessa now caught out by the Rumble all the way in. He overheats. He lands the autos, but meanwhile down below, Jarvan is going to be picked off rather quickly. Equalizer now slows down the Ambessa, but the flash is all in vain as 2 down. The front line is non-existent. And he will land the stun onto the Galio, but the damage is minimal. This Vigar, which I once praised for being the one sort of anchor for this team comp, is not able to get the value that he needs to. Pieces around him crumbling. As Galio does mistime the dash, but not too much damage able to come through. After all, he does have that Hollow Radiance, an increase in magic resistance, as Shurelya's will be popped slightly early just to be able to try and avoid damage from the Qiyana. But with those Merc Treads here, we see the Supreme Display of Talent going under the turret as the Hero's entrance comes through. Rumble's burn will claim the Vigar as Kiana claims the Jarvan. But the X marks the spot and Kiana is down. And Besser is against Rumble in the 1v1. Rumble is tanking the turret. He needs to be very careful as that ramp up comes through. Now are we going to be able to keep him alive? Jhin does fall to the Annie, who is now fleeing from Galio. Doesn't manage to land the stun, but not enough damage to be able to claim the kill. As Annie does just look to run away, and speaking of run away, this game is beginning to run away from the likes of this red side. As we look now, third items online, bloodletters for Rumble. Galio must be very close to that Zhonya's at this point, i.e. for Jhin. For the Moonstone in the hands of Nami and that Magi's as well. Very gold efficient this build as Ambessa with now the Sundered Sky. Jarvan picks up the Black Cleaver. Annie has that Rabadon's as well as Vigard picks up the Crit Bloom. And now we'll be building into the Archangel's Staff. Pike with the Edge of Night has had it for a significant amount of time, but we've not really seen too much value come out of it, as he might be caught out here. Edge of Night does protect him from the Nami's slow as the tidal wave comes through, not able to connect onto the lurking fish. But this could be a potential problem as Kiana is in close proximity. Does manage to proc the Edge of Night from the Kiana, but nothing much more comes out of it as Pike is halved just by a Kiana disc throw as Galio primes the taunt, lands it onto Ambessa, knocks her up. As Rumble just sits behind this Baron pit. Equalizer will come down, dealing significant burn damage to the Ambessa. Jarvan just falls instantly as now this Baron is free for the taking from this blue side. And this game seems already close to over as Galio able to tank massive amounts of damage. Will try and find the Pike, not able to find it with the dash, but Supreme Display of Talent comes through and is able to stun the Pike, and the disc throw over the wall does catch him out. He will be sent back to the fountain in this game as Annie popped in a mere matter of seconds as Kiana has just been unstoppable this game. Picks up one more on the Ambessa, but that could be all she wrote as Vigar is fleeing for the hills. Will Kiana be able to catch her? No flash available to be able to close that gap. As now the base is all but theirs as they take down the first inhibitor in mid, as they might look to potentially take a second in bot as Jarvan is the target of the engagement. Going to use the Cataclysm onto the Nami, but Galio does dash out of it with the hero's entrance. Pike is up and available now. Jhin possibly close to that execute range. Galio way too far away from it, as this might just be already over as they take down the Nexus, and that will be GG. Well played.